Hi, welcome to another day where I'm providing you with practical tips to improve your workplace culture. Today, we're going to talk about agapeo love. And the reason I bring this up again is because love is so important. Love is truly the foundation for leadership. It's where everything, whether it's your word, your action, your deed, it all comes from this core being of love, or it should be, let's say. So I want to make sure that we get this right. And you'll see several of my videos that talk about love, whether it's altruistic love, agapeo love. But the main idea is that love is important. And in my research, I found that love is one of the most significant predictors, if not the most significant predictor, of desired workplace outcomes like organizational commitment, employee engagement, and job satisfaction. So if we can get this love thing right, then the office, the company, can oftentimes get those results that they want. And at the core of it, it's just the right thing to do. So what I have been truly amazed with is that in all of my research, it always boils back to love, which goes back to 1 Corinthians 13, where we are to love. You know, one of the greatest commandments in the Bible, Jesus said, love God first and love others. So let's talk a little bit more about love and how we can do this in our workplace. Okay, so in doing this, we will dissect 1 Corinthians 13, and I'm going to do this in two parts. The first part is what love is not. So love does not act unbecomingly. And when we think about that, think about experiences you may have had where somebody says something they shouldn't, they've been rude, or maybe you've been to a party and you notice somebody is drinking too much or just behaving in an inappropriate way. So love does not act unbecomingly. Love does not seek its own. And this really gets to the heart of what our hidden agenda might be. Oftentimes, we will do great things, but is the essence of that motivation to serve and help others? Or is it some type of selfish act where we're trying to show just how great we are? Love is not provoked. And sometimes people confuse this with we just let people do things and walk all over us like a doormat, but that's not true. We can still correct their actions or let them know that we have boundaries and we won't allow them to behave a certain way, but it means that we won't be provoked to anger. So think about a situation where maybe you have asked for help, and when you went in to your manager and asked for help, they ridiculed you and they acted like you should know this, and they got angry with you. And that's not the way that we want to behave. So love does not rejoice in unrighteousness. And with this is an issue that we're seeing more and more common. I believe it might be because of some of the television shows that are out there where we rejoice in misbehavior, whether it's treating people wrongly or just doing some wrong deed or action, and people make fun of it and they laugh about it. But that's not really what we should do. We shouldn't rejoice in that. We should seek to know the truth. And in this situation in the workplace, I think about a wrongdoing such as if somebody's stealing office supplies or having an inappropriate relationship with another coworker. Those actions are wrong, and we shouldn't partake in that type of behavior, but we also shouldn't celebrate it. So for some people, they may think, oh, this person didn't get caught when they took the office supplies, so I'll take some too. No, that's not what we should do. And it also doesn't mean that when the couple that is having an extramarital affair at work is caught and their spouses file for divorce that we celebrate. It's wrong. And we need to really get back to that core of understanding right and wrong and discerning right and wrong and how to react to that. Love is not jealous. And in this situation, when we are celebrating victories at work, we need to be careful that we're not inside being bitter or critical and thinking, well, how in the world did they do that? But really being happy for them at the heart, truly rejoicing with them in their victory. So love is not jealous. Love does not take into account wrongs. And what this means, again, isn't allowing people to walk all over us. It means that we don't keep a list of wrongs. So if we have a coworker that's coming in habitually late, it doesn't mean we just ignore that. It means that we get with them soon. We remedy the situation early rather than later. Love does not brag. And this is sometimes difficult in the workplace, especially in our generation today, where we need to advocate for ourselves. We need to be able to negotiate for better pay and better job titles and better projects that we can work on. We need to do that. There's a need for that. But we need to do that from a humble perspective. So this sometimes can get a little bit difficult in walking that fine line between being prideful and being humble. And love is not arrogant. So this basically boils down to having pride. And we need to be sure that when people do come to us and ask for help, that we're willing to give it. And we're not looking at them as if they should already know the answer. With love is not arrogant, we're truly setting back in our humble self and serving the person because it's the right thing to do. Because love is the right thing to do. So my assignment for you today is to look at what love is not. Evaluate your own behavior. And if you have a close friend or mentor, maybe ask them to evaluate this with you. Take a look back at how you've behaved this year. Have you had any unbecoming activity or selfish activity? Have you been provoked to anger, or have you rejoiced in unrighteousness? Have you been jealous? Is there some list of wrongs that you're keeping that you need to put that list aside, shred it, and go ahead and deal with those issues? Have you bragged or appeared arrogant? So take a look back, reflect over this past year, this past week, month, whatever, and think about your own behavior, but then keep a check on it going forward. And truly spend some intentional time. Maybe add this to a journal entry each night. How have you done with these specific items throughout the day? And it is helpful when you have somebody walking alongside during these growth periods to just help hold you accountable. If I can be of any assistance with coaching or mentoring or training, I'd love to help. My name is Dr. Deborah Dean. You can find me at drdebradeen.com. Fill out the contact form, and I would be glad to talk with you about how we can improve your workplace culture. Have a great day.